joining me in the studio right now is Asian Network's Tip of the Week, Rebelyous.
Hey, how are you?
Yeah, not bad, thank you. How are you?
I am fantastic. It's been a great time.
Do you know what amazes me? You burst onto the music scene in Northampton about 5 months ago, and since then, it seems like you have just gone from strength to strength as an artist. So, how did you appear, and where did you come from?
It's actually crazy because I'm like all over the country. So like originally it would have been like for like the last like 12 years it would be like Luton, but I actually never sent stuff in. I was never actually really sending stuff in. Then obviously I was in Manchester, and then my friend Trev, which he doesn't want me to say his address, which he said yesterday, he's like, don't say my address, is in Northampton. So I'll be staying with him. But when I have work, like when I have shifts again, I travel back up. And right now I've got a nice week off, so I am literally everywhere. So I wasn't actually sending things in, but Silverfinger said to me, he goes, "Are you uploading to the upload?" And I was like, "No." And he's like, "Bro, what?" He said to me, like, "What are you doing?" And I was just like, and then I started sending them in, and literally from as soon as I started uploading them to the uploader, that was it.
So what gave you that confidence to finally take the plunge? Because it is a big thing, isn't it? Sharing your music with people, knowing that it might get played on the radio.
Well, I don't think it was a confidence thing. I think I just wasn't doing it. I just wasn't doing it. It's one of them ones. I know it's a bit maybe a bit pessimistic, but you know when you send your things to the BBC, you probably think, oh, they're not going to play the songs. Like, you know, there's no point sending them in. There's no point. And obviously, it's a weird one because obviously when you get played, I mean, it's a great feeling. It's a fantastic feeling, but at the same time, it's again probably a bit pessimistic. When you have your song played, it's more than like, oh, my song's played, it felt great, but my song's not getting played anymore. And then I was like, it's like the heart, and you come straight down. And I suppose I didn't want that feeling, if I'm being totally honest.
But for you, it hasn't been that case though, has it? Because you've literally been played again, and now you seem to be a regular fixture here and on Asian Network.
Yes, I've actually counted how many times I've been played this year. I had goals this year, like that I set myself. I was like, okay, I want this many plays. I want to achieve this. I want to achieve that. And I've done everything already. And I was like, oh my God.
That's mad. As an artist, to be able to say that after a short period of time, to actually say, I've achieved my goals for the year. What are your new ones? Okay,
so originally my first goals of the year was I want 10 BBC plays. I've never had that before. You know, I think maybe from 2012 to recently I've had like 2. So I was like, you know, if I can get 10, which is like a huge amount to me, I was like, I'll be happy. I've hit 30 now. So I'm keeping count. I document everything. Then I wanted to be Artist of the Week. In January, that's my goal. I obviously achieved that a few weeks ago. I did not know Track of the Week existed. I did not know that was a thing.
But that's the funniest thing. The first track you actually sent to us that we played out on air went in straight away as Track of the Week. Never in your wildest dreams would you ever probably imagine that happen, right?
I didn't know it was a thing. So what happened was, when you started introducing, because there was a lot of us in the front room listening to the show, and then you started doing this introduction for Track of the Week, but you never said who it was. Trevor already started celebrating. He was celebrating. He goes, "It's us." And I said to him, "I go, bro, it's not us." I said it to him, I go, "Bro, it's not." I go, "What? We just sent a song. We just sent in our first song, and it gets Track of the Week." And then obviously you said it again, pessimistic. And then it got Track of the Week, and then obviously every time someone came to the house, Trevor had to let them know it was Track of the Week.
Well, that's it. You've got to. If you're BBC introducing Track of the Week, then you've just got to let people know.
And then I carried on doing it too.
Right. The thing here as well is that I think we've gathered that optimism is a great thing if you're going to upload your songs to BBC and introduce them. But not just that, right? Because tell me a bit about that first track, because you burst onto the scene with it. It was a fantastic track that really caught our attention straight away. So what made you go for it?
What, blah, blah, blah. There's, I think right now there's a sound in England, like I like an artist called Switcher and A1J1, and they're doing a lot of them type songs of sampled remix hooks. So when I heard the beat, I was like, I want to do that as well. And literally, we recorded it on Wednesday, or was it Tuesday, and then it was Track of the Week by Saturday. The song had existed like 4 days.
Why Sam Smith and Naughty Boy?
What's that? I mean, with the beats, because obviously I get to, like the producer, I speak to the producer, and obviously he's already made a set of beats, and I just like the drop. I did just like the drop. It was just a good drop.
Do you think, as somebody who works within those sort of genres, and you know, it's heavily beat focused, isn't it? And it's finding that kind of beat that you can actually work with straight away, because sometimes you can listen to hundreds of beats, can't you? And think, no, that's not right. That's not right. So how do you decide what's right for you?
I don't know. I think, you know what it is? When you listen to an instrumental, I think I'm more the type, if the first 5 to 6, 7 seconds don't get me, I don't want to use it. It has to get me in the first 10, because you know where if the beat's heading somewhere. So if I feel that way, I feel like somebody listening to me would also feel that way.
For sure. Right, let's hear it, shall we? That's called Blah 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 on BBC Introducing in Northamptonshire. And Rebelyous is in the studio with me right now. We're having a good old chat about all things music and Northamptonshire. And for you, Rebelyous, because you burst onto the music scene several months ago, as we've already spoken about tonight. Yeah. But the thing is, the Northampton music scene wasn't new to you, was it? Because you've actually been working with certain artists we're about to hear in a moment for quite a while, haven't you?
I already used to talk to, how do I say her name without swearing?
FFSY then?
Yeah, because obviously I know what it stands for, and I know I can't say that on radio. And you know what's actually crazy? I actually saw she was getting paid a lot on this show. I saw that a lot. And you know what? I think that, like, literally pushed her. I think it actually did. It's like, it kind of just pushed her and it's elevated to something else. With Karen... Karen's the same, to be fair. I've been working with Karen for a while, but she wasn't uploading to the uploader either. So I know Karen's pretty recent. So obviously, me and Karen have worked a lot in the past, and now she started doing her own solo stuff.
For sure. And, you know, what does that bring for you, like, as an artist, when you work with somebody who brings something different to the track to what you do? For example, like, Karen's got those real R&B undertones, that rich voice running through every single track that she works for.
Yeah, she is.
And, you know, she's got a real range behind her as an artist. Like, she's sent in so many songs, and they're all good in their own ways. So what do you get from working with artists like that?
I think with Karen, I think before it comes to talent, it's her drive. So, for example... Like, I've worked with a lot of people, and I think a lot of people sometimes can be dependent on you, on myself. I think with Karen, let alone Karen's talent, her drive. She's got drive. Like, she can make a song with or without me, and she's gonna be completely driven with her own song or a song with me. So I think the first thing that gets to me is her drive. That she'll make sure that she's gonna succeed in whatever she does. So I think, to me, that's the most important thing. Then obviously her talent, and obviously I don't really know many people that sound like Karen. I don't know many things that sound like her. Exactly
the same. I don't think so either. I think listening to Karen, I feel like she is one of a kind as an artist. And, you know, speaking of one of a kinds as an artist as well, I think that could be said for you as well, because every track that you send in has got something completely different, and it unlocks a different layer to the artist that I thought you were before on the track before. Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what's weird? My friend, Leo, we did have this conversation like 2 years ago. He said, I don't suit a mood. He goes, you know when somebody's in a mood to listen to a song, or an artist, because they have a set type of songs, you're like, I'm in the mood to listen to that artist. He goes, you don't have that, because he goes, every song sounds like exactly that song, and the next song will sound completely different. So I didn't know if that was an advantage or disadvantage, but it seems like with you guys it's actually an advantage.
I really think it is. So I want to talk about some of the more recent tracks, because I feel like you've really gone for like a 90s R&B kind of boy band vibe in places.
Oh, drop of the
So what are your influences?
Oh, I said this on the Asian Network the other day. I got stick for it. I still do get stick for it. People laugh at me. My favourite rapper is Ja Rule. He's my favourite rapper. You know, a lot of people say, you know, Tupac and stuff like that. That's completely fine, but mine's Ja Rule. I liked the type of music he made. When he was on top, he was on top. He was very commercial. He had catchy hooks and all that kind of stuff. And I like the way he done things.
Would you say Ja Rule was kind of what got you and drove you to get into music in the first place? I
had no intention of getting into music at all. Somebody said to me I look like a rapper who was already doing music, and he just said I should rap. I never wanted to do music. It was never... I had no interest in it at all. When
did you realise that it might be a viable option for you?
Well, I was terrible for a long time, so I didn't know if it was going to be viable. If I'm being totally honest, it took a while. It took many of years, and even then, I didn't really believe it. To be fair.
Well, I think the moral of the story here is you need to believe in yourself, Rebelyous.
I do now. Trust me.
In the meantime, let's hear one of your tracks, shall we? This is with Karen Flaherty. This is called Stack. It had a lot of support off Asian Network, which, by the way, we'll come back to and chat about in a sec.
Yeah, no problem.
That's Stack on BBC Introducing in Northamptonshire, and Rebelyous is in the studio with me right now having a chat about all things music and him as an artist. And of course, we're playing some of his tracks on the show tonight. If you do want to listen back, you can do so on BBC Sounds. However, I do want to have a chat about this Asian Network stuff, because your support from that station, how did it even start?
Again, with Silverfinger telling me to upload songs to the Asian Network. I mean, Silverfinger played me back in October. I think it was October last year. I think that's the first song that got played in a very, very long time. And then he was just giving me general advice on what to do. And then there's another guy called Uzair who works on the Asian Network. I got in touch with him because I used to work at Radio Lab in Luton. So did he. So I was like, oh. And obviously he's in a fantastic position. He actually gives me advice. He still does give me advice to this day on what to do. Even like with the, like I said about goals. I did say to him the other day, like, what do I do now? I said it to him today. I was like, what do I do now? I was like, I don't know what to do. I've set new goals now. But at that time, I didn't have any new goals. So it was just like, you need to stay persistent.
That's absolutely amazing that just by pure coincidence, you've ended up in the position that you're in. But it's not even through lack of hard work, because you have really hammered down the last few months on producing some really strong tracks for Asian Network. And when you listen to Jasmine Takar support you, people like that in that position,
Jasmine does.
How does that feel?
I'm not gonna lie, it is cool. I mean, every time Jasmine introduces me, she always says great stuff. Always says great stuff. Like, I'm just grateful, because I could tell Jasmine's just like generally definitely invested in me.
And for artists like South Asian artists in particular, and obviously being a South Asian presenter, I know for a fact that being represented in music is really important, because there's not a lot of us in those spaces, is there? So for you to be played on Asian Network and to appear as a regular fixture, and then to be played on our Saturday night show as well,
I know.
I think it's really great to see. So how do you feel as a South Asian artist coming up and wanting to, get those national plays and actually getting them?
I think before I was uploading to the Asian Network, it was hard to get support, even from fellow Asians. It generally was. I found it quite difficult. And then, like I said, it feels like something just happened. You know what? I can't actually tell you what happened. Something just happened one day, and everything just clicked. The support by Asians, the Asian Network. Everything, it all just clicked. And the thing is as well, what I like about the Asian thing is, like, for example, Silverfinger's Indian, all different races, and though we're all Asian, we're all still completely different races, and I think that's a cool thing.
What do you think needs to be done to get more people like us into the music industry? Whether that's the music scene as an artist, whether that's behind the scenes, working in production and music, or even working on gigs and stuff. What needs to be done?
Well, I think the Asian Network's doing a fantastic job, if I'm being totally honest. I mean, I didn't know there was a BBC introducing on the Asian Network. I didn't know any of this stuff. So, I mean, and to be fair, they do listen to your stuff, and they are quite supportive. So when it comes to the Asian Network, I would say just keep sending your stuff in, because Jasmine is very supportive. Her team are fantastic. Even Silverfinger, he gets his shows on the Asian Network. He's somebody who's so accommodating to the point you can literally just inbox him yourself and he will normally get back to you. So there's more people just to listen, because the thing is, you need people, it's all good us making the good songs and stuff, but if no one's there to listen to them, there's not much we can do. And obviously, I think with you guys, it's like, I don't know, it's just like I said, from what I've experienced, you've all literally been very accommodating, very easy to talk to, very easy to approach. And I think maybe the idea I had before was DJ's not easy to approach.
It's one of those situations, isn't it, where the doors have just continued to open for you. And I hope they continue to open for you, because what have you got lined up for the rest of the year then?
I've got a gig in July. I've got a gig in August. I'm not big on gigs, but I mean, I've still got different gigs to do. I've got a song with DJ Ironic to release. And just carry on. Like I said, I now set new goals. I now need to figure out how to reach them ones.
For sure. Well, new goals, and last week you hit a new milestone, of course, getting the Asian Network Tip of the Week from Jasmine Takar, which was fantastic, and it was a massive achievement to see your name on there. And tell me a bit about Drop of the Dime then, because this was Asian Network's Tip of the Week. Yes, they have. Yeah, it was. Drop of the Dime. It's old school. It sounds very, very old school. It sounds very 90s, maybe early 2000s. I think even 10, 11 years ago, I think a lot of people were still making songs like that. But if you fast forward to 2022, I don't think you hear many songs like that anymore. So I think even though that style alone, if you could do something like that now, it will stand out a lot more. I definitely think so, because it's got that very contemporary, nostalgic feedback of everything you like about the 90s and the noughties, but at the same time, you know it was made in 2022.
Yeah,
it's got that current feel.
Because the way I rapped on the song was current, but the beat and the hook was old school. So yeah, it was like a mixture.
It was like the meeting of two worlds. Well, Rebelyous, thanks so much for coming on the show.
No, thank you so much for having me.
Great to have you on the show. Now, let's hear it, shall we? This Asian Network tip of the week. This is Drop of a Dime on BBC Introducing in Northamptonshire.